Welcome back to Googan Lab. In today's episode, I'm going to be breaking down my personal top 3 deep water tactics. Stick with it, stay tuned, and let's talk lures. So if you're out on the water and you're experiencing extreme heats or extreme cold fronts, these 3 lures might help you catch fish. The first one that we're going to be talking about today, let me just reel this guy in, I just did a big cast. First one we're going to talk about today is the Googan gridiron jig. This is in a 1/2 ounce in a green pumpkin color. And on the back, I've got something that looks a little bit different. This is the full-size crack and crawl in Bama bug. And I like that kind of offset color when I'm fishing deep water. To me, deep water is anything that's past like 15 foot. That's deep. You know, that's where those fish are really pushed off the bank. They're hard to catch, and they can be a little bit difficult to locate. So one thing I like to do to find those fish, especially the ones that are more lethargic, sitting on the bottom, not willing to eat, is to drag a big jig down there. So what we have right here is a nice rocky main lake hump. There's a little bit of brush up there. It's probably about 3 feet at the pinnacle, and then it slowly slopes down at about 20. I like to cast my jig out there, let it sink for a bit. Sometimes you can let out line if you want it to sink directly to the bottom, but if you want it to kind of pendulum towards the boat, just let it sit. And then eventually you'll feel that jig hit the bottom. It's still sinking, still sinking. Yep, now we're on the bottom. That line just went slack. That means that your gridiron jig is on the bottom. The next thing I do is I just kind of feel my rod. I'm waiting to see if I can feel any rocks, any sort of strange structure, maybe some brush down there. And if I'm feeling stuff, if I'm feeling some grittiness down there, I'm in the right area. I really take my time with this jig. If I'm feeling some hard cover, then I'm really gonna make a few casts. Sometimes I'll make 2 or 3 casts in one area where I know there's a stump. The rod that I like to use is a 7-foot go-to Green Series Googan rod. I like a little bit shorter rod only because I feel like if I'm directly below those fish, like if I get a bite right near the boat, I get a better hook set. Longer rod, a little bit more awkward. But again, this is all personal preference. If you like to make longer casts and have a heavier rod, the 7'5" muscle rod is the one I would suggest. 20-pound test fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon because it sinks faster. You're gonna have a hard time fishing deep water with mono or braid. And then we're using a 7.2 to 1 gear ratio reel. So if we do get bit, you can reel down and set the hook. So play around with some different colors, some different sizes. Generally speaking, I like this for cleaner water, little offset trailer with a natural jig. If I'm fishing dirtier water, I like to go heavier jigs with more of a darker presentation. So like June bugs, black and blue, things of that nature. So just remember these setups next time you go out on a nice rocky point and want to fish a jig. Another great deep water tactic is the umbrella rig. This is an awesome lure for catching fish out in suspended deep water. If you guys want to learn more about specifically how to fish this, check the link down in the description below. We did an awesome tutorial on how to really get in depth in fishing the Alabama rig. But if you're struggling to get them on the bottom and if you're chasing fish that are feeding on giant schools of shad, this is a great one to pick up. Throw some saucy swimmers on the back of some light jig heads and just find some big suspended bass. If you're looking for bait and if you find bait, pick this rig up and you will have success. Number 3 on our top baits to fish in deep water is the Googan Squad Recon. This is an awesome lure to cover water, fish from 15 to 20 feet, imitates big shad and gets aggressive fish to lunge towards your presentation. This is probably one of my favorites of all time. Grind it on rock, fish it suspended, find nice bluff walls, and just get out there and do some cranking. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching yet another Googan Lab. Hopefully you learned something today. Take those 3 baits, go out in your local waters, fish deep, and see if you can get cranked. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.